Give a farmer seeds, he'll create life. Give a musician a melody, he'll create music. Give a soldier an enemy, and he'll create nothing. He only destroys. Some pretty heavy shit, right? Well, what if I told you that that came from a shit post about Mickey Mouse going to Vietnam and never quite coming back? Because it is, by a channel by the name of Ethereal Snake. Now, I don't know if I can refer to Snake's posts as shit posts, because justifiably, their art in their own manner, which is insane to think about. In the last month of content that I've made, it's been shitpost after shitpost, specifically the iceberg charts. Those are made specifically in humor. But this is a really interesting topic. This weirdly horrifying face is supposed to be a representation of Thomas the Tank Engine after being forced to cart the Jews into Auschwitz. Really fucked up, right? And yet, it's kinda considered humor. I mean, in a surreal way, it is, I guess. Because my confusion about what this is supposed to be paints a bigger picture. What is the line between humor and societal critique? This isn't the first time something like this has happened, where the line between something nice to look at or something to laugh at has been blurred. What you see on screen is a painting called Who's Afraid of Red, Yellow, and Blue? It's part of a set of 4. It seems completely harmless, right? But it's criticizing society. And for that, 2 of these pieces of a set of 4 have been vandalized. Death Stranding is a game is about coming together, surviving as one, not as tiny chunks. The themes are heavy, and yet the game is shed upon. Now, you might argue there was a better way for Death Stranding to convey its themes, and heck, I might even agree. Probably would have been better as a movie or TV show, not as a video game, but the themes still remain. And you could argue that the themes of Who's Afraid of Red, Yellow, and Blue should have been portrayed in a better way. That's the damn thing about art. You see, I create things regularly. Not just with this channel, I play several different instruments. I like drawing sometimes, albeit I'm not good at that. And I make things with clay. Along with my books, I'd say I'm pretty varied as an artist, even if it's not entirely art. And with all the videos you see on screen, every single fucking one, there are a million tiny little mistakes. A trillion ways it could have been conveyed better. So many ways, why do I even create anything at all? Which is why I'm announcing my resignation. That's a joke. I'm fucking with you. I'm never gonna quit. But with these videos, why did I make them? Because I wanted to. Not all of them say something deep about society, but there are so many of these videos that are never going to be on this page, that I wrote the scripts for, that I put time into editing, that'll never make it. They'll never be on my channel. I simply refuse to publish them. As a creator, I have to wonder, how many of these videos has this creator spent hours poring over, days even, every single detail, praying to whatever gods there may be that they might be able to get it just right. And even though they might see a million little mistakes, we don't see it. This face right here proves that they got it just right. They created something that's art. This spiral you see on screen, one of the first times I've ever used a moving component in my video, is another perfect example of this. Unus Annus was something filled with mistakes. You got to see them. There were tweets about it. But the impact of this creation, of this art, despite all those tiny little cuts in it, will be felt by the millions of people who saw it for years to come. So, in art and creation, who's really the critic here? In my personal experience, my channel has never criticized anyone unless you happen to support QAnon, in which a QAnon vid is really not for you. My writing might criticize, but it only criticizes those who are so full-heartedly stuck in their ways that they're just never going to leave. But the other art's criticisms are full of, well, paradox. Ethereal Snake's art, despite the fact that they constantly put our beloved childhood figures into horrifying situation, paradoxically criticizes both those who are just simply too curious to be safe and too safe to be curious. Who's Afraid of Red, Yellow, and Blue's criticisms paradoxically fall upon those who criticize it. It's three colors, what the hell is all of the fuss about? Unis Honest's criticisms fell upon those who thought that they had all the time in the world because they only had all the time in the life. And paradoxically, those people who refuse to realize that they're mortal didn't get the point of Unis Honest. Death Stranding's themes of building together slowly and surviving together, not alone, paradoxically fell upon deaf ears. It was just too slow for a video game, people said. And the themes of staying together, those completely fell apart with things like Brexit in the last 4 years of America from 2020 to 2016. So when it comes to art, who's really the critic? If criticizing the art is paradoxical, then does not criticizing the art create an equal paradox with a void where the audience was once supposed to be? Well, I'll clear this up by talking about money. This stuff is meaningless. Completely. It doesn't criticize, it doesn't create. You can argue that it destroys, but money is just paper. What makes the dollar bill in America, or the euro, or the Australian dollar, or Japanese yen, what gives any of it value? A lot of these currencies aren't even on the gold standard anymore because there's just too many people and not enough gold. So what gives it value? Well, you say it has value. Maybe there's other reasons. But what gives those reasons value? What gives anything value? It's an existential spiral because everything is meaningless if you look at it this way. Now with money, it keeps its meaning because we've created rules. But what about with art? You probably don't know this book. And if you do, I'm sorry, really. You see, this book also exists to criticize society. But this book is universally shat on. It will not be remembered. It will not be looked at fondly. It will not be Who's Afraid of Red, Yellow, and Blue, or Death Stranding, or Unis Honest, or my channel, or Ethereal Snake. It will be none of those things. It will have no impact but being laughingstock. It will never, ever actually criticize society. A Matter of Truth is what sets apart This Is Why I Hate You by The Onion Boy from Unis Honest, or Who's Afraid of Red, Yellow, and Blue, or Death Stranding, or Ethereal Snake. Because all of those artworks speak about truth. You see, in Ethereal Snake's space encounter, the main character, the protagonist, touches a blob of reflective stuff in space. It's pretty stupid, isn't it? Why would you touch that? And the main character dies for it. Mickey Mouse kills his best friend because war is the only thing holding him together. Because he simply cannot afford to know anything else. He can't afford to be curious. Who's Afraid of Red, Yellow, and Blue slaps its cock on the table and asks you, what's the big fuss? I mean, it's 3 colors. 3 colors in 4 different arrangements, and yet it's been vandalized twice. because it criticizes people afraid of whatever. Unus Annus existed to get you attached to this channel, to these people running the channel, to learn about them, to know them, just to emotionally hurt you by deleting it all, by reminding you that they are going to die, that you are going to die, that everyone you have ever known is going to die. Everything will die. Death Stranding, while not being too good as a video game, is fucking great as an art piece because it's about surviving together, rebuilding slowly. Not everything is fast, and you will have to fight for the things that you want. And that fighting isn't with guns or fists, it's fought in steps. So what almighty, unbearable, grand truth does Onision bring down upon us mere mortals with "this is why I hate you"? Nothing. There is no truth. You know what the book is? We live in a society. Bottom text. So, art, artist, who's the critic here? Neither. The only critic is truth. Well, ladies, gentlemen, NBs, we did it. This is the end of the video. If you made it this far and you aren't subscribed, subscribe. I mean, it's a pretty chill community I have here. Every number is one closer to my dream. Overall, just be pretty cool. If you want to stick around for a little bit of commentary, that's also cool. So, this is probably a little bit too deep TM to be just a commentary video, so I guess it's a video essay, which I said I was going to be cutting back on. So this one's for you, Swine the Homeless. Weirdly enough, there's no script for this at all. This was all off the cuff and over the course of like 2 hours, which is pretty nutso, especially because a video I'm going to be uploading like right after I'm finishing editing this. I'm pretty sure I stated explicitly right in the start how turbo busy I am, so I can't make a commentary video or video essay. Hopefully I didn't shit on Onision a little bit too hard here. Actually, you know what? No, I'm hoping I went a little bit too hard. Onision kind of deserves it. I'm just so afraid of him putting acne on my face and saying reality check while sounding like an utter idiot, you know. Terrifying stuff, really. Anyways, that marks the end of all the commentary I have to say. My dog is giving me attitude in the background. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful time. Memento Mori.